Here we are. Just waiting for the comment section to load up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Your boy, the Dread Man, is back with the NFL Fourth and Goal podcast. I'm your host, the Dread Man, here with my boys, Flipside and Waz. We're sorry we couldn't make it last week. Some things came up, but don't worry, we're back in full effect. How you guys doing tonight, fellas?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just enjoying the Lakers in the first game of the finals. So
Yeah.
that's how it is tonight.
How about you, Waz?
Yeah, they're doing work on the Heat right now.
Oh yeah.
They're doing work.
We're just gonna save you guys we're gonna save you guys the long drawn out prediction. Lakers in 5. We're just gonna save you guys that for the benefit of everybody watching. That's my NBA Finals prediction.
I'll put the Heat go 6 games. I don't know if they can go and get them in 5.
They will still. I thought. You know what? I said. I was gonna say Lakers in 6 just to be generous. I thought that the Heat's probably gonna steal like game 2 or game 3 or something like that. But that's probably about it. The Lakers are too hungry right now, and they got too much talent.
Unless the Heat goes down.
Yeah, knock on wood. But yeah. But whoo, man, it has been a hectic couple of weeks in NFL, fellas. I mean, and shoot, I'm hearing right now that the Titans Steelers game might be postponed because they said 3 players and 2 staff members from the Titans contracted COVID, so they're probably going to end up rescheduling that game until.
I think they did postpone it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be moved to a Monday night game. They're going to quarantine the players and the coaches until they can figure it out. But yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's very interesting. It's the first kind of little hiccup, and we'll get to see how the NFL kind of reacts and how this kind of adjusts going forward. So are they saying that they're going to push the game to Monday, or what are they saying?
Yeah, we're hearing it might end up being a doubleheader Monday Night Football game. That's the best case scenario.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't mind, but you know we're just gonna see how it goes. But yeah, fellas, we're going Flip. Flip, you have something to say?
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, do you guys think that this is going to be a problem later on when the bye weeks are kind of like closing out and a couple teams have played Monday games already? I feel like teams are going to complain if they have to play 2 Mondays.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that too. I mean, because some teams are really not. I mean, because at some point in the season, there's going to be a team that plays 2 games in a week because of Monday, because of either Sunday or Monday night football or Thursday night football. So yeah, I mean, and the thing is, some teams might have an early bye week. I mean, and the thing is, like they might have to take their bye week early just so it might end up having to play their schedule bye week that game. So yeah, that's what it that's what they end up might having to do. So yeah.
I think it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that there is a team that, you know, towards the end of the season, if we do finish the full season, that it is possible that, you know, due to safety or hazard concerns, they end up just scrapping a game, depending on, you know. I think it's definitely possible that you have a team that only plays 15 games.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, due to COVID, like maybe for whatever reason, it doesn't work with rescheduling, and the NFL just goes, you know, all right, screw it, you know, you guys both don't play this week, and then regroup the next week, and then you end up getting a team that has basically maybe 2 buys, and only plays 15 games.
Yeah, and that can make it trickier. I mean, especially that could work depending on a lot of teams' records. I mean, because let's face it, if you're at the end of the season and you're at like 4-10, your ass ain't going to no playoffs. So what difference does it make? I mean, yeah, I mean, so that could factor in depending on what teams depending on teams' records are going down the stretch. The thing is, was what you're saying, like I said, it could affect it like if the team has good playoff indications, that can make it just a little bit more trickier. But if they're tanking or if they're doing bad in the season, you know they're not going to the playoffs anyway, then I don't really suppose it matters. But all right, fellas. Anyway, week 4, going into week 4. Now, I have to add, before we review our game of the week, team of the week, and choke of the week. By the way, we all know who was the choke of the week again this week. We know, but anyway, uh, with it being week, I mean, because come on, the Bears, the Chicago Bears, right now are 3-0, and a lot of people say that if something happens more than once, it's not a fluke. The Saints are 1-2, which is very, very tricky. And the Pittsburgh Steelers right now are undefeated at 3-0, and so are the Tennessee Titans. Some people will argue that people are playing, they're not playing to the level of the competition. I mean, but like in you guys' personal opinion, I mean, what do you think at this point in the season, this early? Do you think the team's record is a reflection of their actual skill, or do you think that there's some fluky things happening? Wise, what do you think?
I think so. I think it all depends on the team. Obviously, the Chiefs being 3-0, I think that is not.
That's not a fluke, yeah.
I think you could say that's not a fluke. That's just a testament to how good that team is.
Mm-hmm.
You could say the Seahawks 3-0. They were a team that was highly favored. The Bills being 3-0, I think there's a lot of pressure on the Bills, and that 3-0 is definitely impressive considering how they played. But I have to say the Bears streak is a little fishy to me. Obviously, because we did have that deal against Detroit, and I think it was week 1 where Detroit basically dropped the winning touchdown pass at the end of the game.
Oh God, yeah.
They barely beat the Giants. I think the Bears being 3-0 is about as fluky as you could definitely say. I wouldn't compare the Bears 3-0 to any of the other teams I've mentioned.
Yeah.
Or any other teams that are undefeated right now. I think that is definitely a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
There are teams definitely that benefit from their schedule at the beginning, and we definitely see it. Like some of your teams can be 3-0, 4-0. And they might end up finishing the season 7-9, and you'll completely forget how it started.
Exactly.
I think that could definitely happen with the Bears.
Yeah, and in all actuality, the Cowboys are 1-2, but they should be 3-0 because of the Falcons' choke against them. I mean, the thing is, like, some people say that a lot of teams lose game more than other teams win it, but hey, I mean, if it goes down that record book, hey, a win's a win. And some people are questioning the Steelers' undefeated streak right now because they say that the Steelers' level of competition as of right now hasn't been that great. But the true test for the Steelers is going to be that road game against Tennessee. But yeah, Flip, what are your thoughts on that about teams' records in their? I mean, this early in the season, like, do you think it's a reflection of how good they are, or do you think that it's something else?
I think the teams that are 3-0 right now are good, but I also think outside of probably the Chiefs and maybe the Bills. I'll say the Chiefs, Seahawks, and the Bills. Outside of those 3 teams, maybe add in the Packers to that, but it's a skill. The teams are very well built. They're very well coached. Josh Allen is having an amazing season right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Bills team is really good, but it's also like COVID. COVID is doing a lot of this for these teams. Like a lot of these teams are losing a lot of players. Like you see, like the 49ers lost half their team to turf.
Yeah.
It's just COVID and not being able to practice the good. So all these injuries are piling up for a lot of teams that we thought would be, winning more games. A lot of these things they're losing at close games also. So I think it's just the early season. We'll start seeing these teams kind of get back in the rhythm around this season, and we'll see the teams that we thought were going to be making it to the playoffs start kind of showing that. So for now, I think it's
Yeah.
He was having to fight the ball.
Yeah.
So, a lot of things are factoring into it. So, I think just the whole COVID thing is kind of messing with some teams, but like things like the Seahawks and Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Now for week 3, what was your game of the week? Was
My game of the week is tough. So there's a couple of good games. I really enjoyed the Seattle Dallas game. That was incredible. But I'm going to give it up to the Bills, the Bills and the Rams game. That was a really, really, really fun game. I was completely on board with thinking that the Bills were possibly a little suspect, and I was really a believer of the Rams. I thought the Rams were definitely underrated, and I thought the Rams would go in there and kind of, and kind of manhandle, not big, but I did not expect the Bills to get up that heavily on the Rams. I think they were at one point up 28-3.
Yeah, that's a cursed number, by the way.
What's that?
28-3 is a cursed number.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But in this case, the Bills ended up coming back and holding on.
Well, that pass interference call is going to be forever questioned. But go on.
Yeah, that is true. That was a little shaky refereeing at the end of the game. But just how that game played out in the fourth quarter, I was only impressed with the Rams' ability to come back. And then more so impressed was, Josh Allen and how he stormed back after that to lead the game-winning drive. Was really, really incredible. I mean, he's definitely come around from the last couple of years. He's definitely improved. And he's definitely a front runner for the MVP. I'll give it up for the Bills. The Bills and the Rams was an incredible game between two teams that, it's very possible they could meet in the Super Bowl. So depending on what happens in the Chiefs.
All right. Me personally, I'm going to have to give it to the shootout in the Superdome between the Saints and the Green Bay Packers. Now, I did predict the Packers. I mean, I did predict the Saints to win that game, but, I got surprised. Well, you know what? Then again, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's not really that big of a surprise. But, I mean, that was really entertaining for me to watch a shootout between Rodgers and Breeze. But, yeah, anyway, Flip, what was your game of the week?
I'll have to say between the Titans, the Vikings, and the Rams and Bills. I think I kind of lean towards the Bills just because the way that one ended was pretty fun with Josh Allen getting the game winner there.
Yeah.
I gotta go with it. I'm also enjoying watching Bills too because we've seen Josh Allen the last 3 years. He's not looked that great, and now he's kind of having his like Lamar years. And I don't know, it's pretty fun to watch. The Rams, I thought, were also another team that kind of were starting off hot. They found their kind of groove. So to see them kind of get into this like grudge match with the Bills is pretty fun. So yeah, I have to be for them.
Yeah. All right, now, who was you guys' most improved team of the week? Me personally, I've got 2 of them. One actually was the Buffalo Bills. I mean, the thing is, I predicted the Rams to beat the Bills, but like I said, they really did impress me. Josh Allen has impressed me. I mean, I do have I still got the Bills winning their division this year. I got them winning the East. I mean, yeah, I got them winning the AFC East this year with the Patriots coming in second. And my second most improved team of the week, I actually do have to give it to I might actually have to give it to the Lions, to be honest, because I did not expect them to beat I didn't expect them to win over not Kansas City, but over over Arizona. So yeah, what was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say Arizona.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to get that win over them. So yeah, but anyway, who was your most improved teams for this week? Team or teams? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely say Detroit for one because I did not expect them to beat Arizona on the road. Detroit kind of looked a little bit sloppy these last couple of weeks, and I just felt like Arizona was the hot team, and Kyler Murray was playing pretty great. You know, he's making the sophomore lead, basically almost like, you know, kind of like a Mike Vick. Like some of the plays he was making was incredible.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, that I thought the Cardinals definitely had it. But I was definitely surprised at how well Stafford played. Obviously, it helped they got Galladay back on the receiving core. So I'll definitely say Detroit as one of the teams, and then I'll say Chicago because you could argue that they definitely are an improved team because they apparently have upgraded that quarterback and are going with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
So they switched from Trubisky to Nick Foles, so maybe you could argue that that's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Flip. Who's your most improved for this week? Well, last week, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to say the Bears too. Just because, like Juan said, they have graded the Nick Foles.
Yeah.
That's Trubisky out of there. That Falcons defense is super suspect, but you still have to be a pretty good quarterback to lead your team out of that hellhole that Trubisky has them in.
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 to 20 something at that point. 26. Yeah. So, yeah, I think with that defense and a confident quarterback, that Chicago team is actually a playoff contender. So for them to be at 3-0 now and starting Nick Foles,
Yeah.
they could probably make the playoffs. And I didn't think that any of us had them make the playoffs this year. So yeah, most of this team, I got the Bears.
Yeah. Now for the ever so dreaded choke of the week. Who wants to say it before me?
Are we calling this choke of the week, or is this segment going to be called, you know, what did Atlanta do this time?
Yes, what did Atlanta do this time? Now, this is an interesting little fact, fellas. In Atlanta's past 3 games, they have scored a total of 90 points. 90 points in 3 games, and they still lost. Now, this hurts because I'm not even an Atlanta Falcons fan, and I'm sick of them choking. All that damn talent, and yet they can't close the door on teams. They can't hold on to the lead worth a damn. I mean, and the thing is, if you look at the Cowboys Falcons game, that onside kick was terrible. All that man had to do was fall on the goddamn ball. It really does not. That's inexcusable. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even be having this conversation about the Cowboys. The Cowboys should be 0-3 right now. We all know that. But anyway, enough about me ranting and raving about it. I mean, the thing is, what did Atlanta do wrong this time?
What did Atlanta do wrong this time? They don't play defense in the fourth quarter. I don't know what to tell you.
How the hell does Dan Quinn still have a job right now? How?
We think he's gone this season, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this: if they have an under 500 record, he is going.
They're definitely gonna have it under.
Yes, because guess what? Because from here on out, the competition for the Falcons gets worse. They have the Packers next week.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me, no, I'm sitting here trying to hold back my laughter right now. With the way that they performed in the past 3 weeks, you think they're supposed to beat the Packers? Oh, Lord.
At Green Bay on Monday night.
Oh, my God. I'm not even going to be...
It's funny because, like, their offense is built for a Super Bowl. Like,
yes.
They're out there cooking. Like, Julio's getting double teamed. It doesn't matter because Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage are out there.
And they have a good running game.
Against that, so Todd Gurley is killing them. So it's like, all you have to do is play defense. Just stop them.
Play defense and don't turn the ball over is all y'all have to do. Play defense. Y'all can put, like I said, in the past 3 games, they put up 90 points. All they got to do is play defense and don't turn the damn ball over.
Yeah, I don't know. We're talking, at this point, if they blow another lead like this,
Yeah. Hold on. Let me check something right quick. All right, I'm looking at my predictions for the season. I'm looking at my prediction for the season, and I actually had the Falcons at 8-8 this year.
They're going to be 0-4.
Oh God, yeah. Oh. Okay. Is it possible? Is it possible? All right, I'm looking at the schedule right now for the Falcons. Is it possible for the Falcons to win the next 6 games straight if they lose it to the Packers on Monday?
It's possible because Panthers is a winnable game. Vikings haven't looked great. Lions is winnable. So Panthers games are still most winnable. Broncos and Saints. Say that again. What's up? I said Michael Thomas will definitely be back.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna beat the Saints. I'm sorry.
They could. Well, the Saints. I'm not sure about the Saints right now without Michael Thomas. Breeze is definitely he's Breeze is a little washed. I think we can all agree that.
Yeah.
He's a little washed. Yeah. It's easy to Breeze on Breeze because he's not going to throw it down the field. He's not throwing it down the field anymore. Yeah, he's not a threat. He's throwing, 5 yard out.
Yeah, he's turning into check down Charlie.
Check down Charlie, yeah.
Yeah.
These next 6 games, like you said, they're winnable games. You know what I mean? There's not a team on there that has like a really stout defense. So this team could really put up points, and obviously put up points.
But if you go up against a shootout team, it's not gonna matter. Yeah, I mean, if the thing is, who would you rather have in a shootout? I mean, now I'm gonna tell you this right now. If it's the last 2 minutes of the game, and the the Falcons have the ball, then you can be safe. But if the Falcons just scored and then they got to kick the ball away in the last 2 minutes, I don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
Yeah.
This is the one team where you can have a 16-point lead in the fourth quarter, and your eyes will be glued to the set because now the jury's out. Now the mills are back that there's no lead that's 60.
No.
So, especially if Aaron Rodgers is running.
Oh God, yeah.
They outdo Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's not gonna. They're not gonna. It's not gonna. I'm not even be a shoot. I mean, it's not gonna. The Packers look good. The Packers look pretty good. But,
all right, fellas. Now let's get into our predictions for Week 4. Thursday night, we got the Broncos going up against the Jets. I don't really. Okay, the Jets haven't shown me a damn thing. They don't show me that. Hell, 2 more games, and I'm going to go ahead and say that the Jets might as well be in tank territory. Sam Darnold has an arm, and that's it. He has no accuracy. He doesn't have any receivers. They don't have a running game anymore. And the defense don't make me laugh. Broncos, if they get Phillip Lindsay back, well, actually, the Broncos are plagued with injuries. Like I said, well, if they get Phillip Lindsay back, I think they're down to their third-string quarterback now, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is, if they get the second-string guy back, or if, they at least might have a chance. But I'm going to go ahead and, even with the Broncos injuries, I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Broncos 28-13 over the Jets. Wise, who you got? Broncos, Jets.
yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets in this game. Just because the Broncos are starting Jeff Driscoll. I don't trust or support that team if that's the case in leading against a team. Even as bad as the Jets are designed, it's kind of make or break for the Jets coach. I think if we're talking about Dan Quinn and him possibly being fired, I think definitely, Adam Gase is up there for definitely first coach to be fired. Just because this whole Jets season is just not looking great. The roster doesn't look great. They are getting, I think, Jamison Crowder back, which will be a little bit of a boost in the core, but right now, running back wise, Frank Gore is getting almost 20 carries a game. If you're telling me that Frank Gore is going to be a I think it's year 18 now. Year 18 or 17 for Frank Gore.
Yeah.
But, this is definitely a make or break. If it does go on for, even to a team, with a team like the Broncos that are also in this, I think it's definitely a fireable offense for the Jets. And especially in that case, you kind of reflected a little bit in Sam Darnold. People really continually take a Trevor Lawrence after taking Sam Darnold so high in the first round a few years back. I don't know. But in this game, I won't lean on the Jets to win this. Give me like a low scoring. I'll say the Jets win this. Jets 20, Broncos 17.
All right. Flip, who you got? Jets, Broncos.
I gotta go with Watson on this one. I think the Jets might have James Crowder back this week, so that's something for Darnold to throw to at least. Frank Gore, he's not gonna get you 120 yards now, but 20 carries for 60. It's just that Broncos team is really banged up right now. Jerry Jeudy banged up. They lost Portland Sutton. Philip Lindsay banged up. Melvin Gordon not doing what they need to do. They don't have Drew Lock for a couple more weeks. It's just not. It's not looking good for that Broncos team right now, and I think the Jets need to win out of this team at the current stage. So, I agree with Watson on this one. I would say Jets 23, Broncos 17.
All right. Next up, we got the Saints going up against the Lions. Now, the Saints, they can kill it on offense. It's just that their defense, more specifically their secondary, can't really stop anybody. They got the weapons. It's just that they had that little problem on defense too, especially their defense not being able to hold in the fourth quarter. And they got to rely on Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara to bail them out every time. Now, in the Lions, they showed up against the Arizona Cardinals in a game that I actually had them losing. So this game could be closer than a lot of people think it is. The thing is, a lot of people are think it's going to be a steal for the Saints. No. Especially with how both teams performed. But even with that in mind, I feel like that the Saints might have just a little bit more to prove, especially since they lost last week in a game that most people did have them winning. Well, actually, I think the Packers are probably still favored by like 2 points over them, especially because they lost. The Packers were the undefeated team going into this, so I think the Packers are favored by like 2. But go ahead and give me the Saints over the Lions in this game, 28-23. Flip, what about you? Saints Lions, who you got?
I think I saw something about Michael Thomas being back in practice, so he might play this week. I think he's gonna have that injury just like Saquon had with the high ankle sprain. He wasn't playing for at least like 8 weeks. I think Michael Thomas is going to be playing, but just being out there as a decoy is enough for him. Alvin Kamara was a monster last week, though. That man, he was kicking and sailing down the field and all of the Packers.
Yeah.
Drew Brees, I don't know. I think defenses are keying in on him. The Lions defense kind of so. I feel like it might. This is tough because I feel like we're starting to see Drew Brees decline a lot. That arm isn't doing much. Like, he can't get the ball down the field like a Tre'Quan Smith to share that defense. So it's sketchy. But I'm gonna play safe and say that the Saints beat the Lions in this. I'm gonna say they win 27-24 though.
All right, Wall, so you got Saints Lions.
I'm going to go with the Lions in this game. I think this is a potential upset. Detroit, playing at home. I just think that Brees, the decline of Brees, and I think it's not enough for this team to overcome without getting Michael Thomas back. That defense is pretty good. And funny enough, I think this team might be a little more interesting if Jameis was playing in this game for this team as opposed to Drew Brees. Brees, he's benefiting from just short passes to Kamara and having him run for a bunch after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as the season goes along, teams are going to just key in on that and definitely learn how to play him. And it's not going to work out well for this team. But I have to, I'm impressed with the way that Detroit played last week. They could have won. They should have won week one. I think this is definitely a competitive team. At this point, I mean, Stafford's still pretty solid. So depending on what status is of Michael Thomas, if he's, even if he comes out there and he's still not all the way 100%, I'm not sure how well that'll help this offense. I think he needs him there, even if he tries to be a decoy. I don't know how well that'll help you, but I'm going to go with the upset pick right now. I'm going to go with Detroit in an upset, just because they showed themselves last week. And I think this time they're playing a little less of a dynamic offense than the Cardinals. And they held the Cardinals to 23, so I'm going to give Detroit a victory in this game. I think Detroit wins this 27 to 23.
Alrighty. Next, you got the LA Chargers going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, the Bucks are where a questionable thing is like they're starting to click and get it together a little bit on offense, especially with the passing game. The Chargers, oh man, the Chargers. I mean, I don't think that their skill. I don't think their record is a reflection of their skill. I mean, with the way their record is sitting right now, I think they're a lot better than what their record shows. But the thing is, like even with everything that they've got on the table, is that going to be enough to beat the Bucks at home? Now, normally I would pick them as the upset of the week, but I mean, like I said, with the Bucks firing on all cylinders, I might have to give them a slight edge over the Chargers. And the thing is, like, no Chargers loss so far has been close. They haven't gotten blown out this year so far. But still, I feel a little bit safer picking the Bucks. So go ahead and give me the Bucks in this game, 24-21 over the Chargers. Wise, who you got? Bucks Chargers.
Yeah, the Bucks looked better last week. Those Ravens still look a bit in decline. He doesn't look great, as kind of we might have expected, and the fact that he's in a much better situation with better weapons. I think Dallas, I'm not sure if he's going to play this week or not. That'll definitely be kind of a big deal if he's out. But I don't want to bet on a rookie quarterback going against Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Brady's better in the previous game than he did last week. But Ecuador was pretty phenomenal last week. So it's kind of hit and miss. I gotta say I'm gonna lean on the Bucks in this just because they are playing. They're playing in Tampa. Less travel for them versus the team coming from the West Coast to the East Coast. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the Bucks winning this game. I'll say Brady picks up 28-24.
All right. Flip. What about you? Who do you got? Bucks Chargers.
I just lost Chris Harris for like 4 to 6 weeks, I think. So our secondary is getting beat up. We don't have Nolan Ingram out there, so it's Bosa and Linval Joseph and Tillery on the line right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of our O-linemen are beat up right now too. It's not looking that great for this game. I just kind of come to I'm happy that Justin Herbert gets snapped because I wanted him to get snapped with Joe Burrow this year, and so that accidental puncturing of
Tyrod's alone.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate, but it also was like cool. We could see Justin Herbert do what he's doing. He's improving every week. I just don't know against this Bucks team. It's like they're kind of picking up, like Waz is saying now. They're starting to get to their groove. They're starting to get some chemistry. I mean, Tom Brady doesn't really have an arm anymore, just like Breeze, so we don't really have to play the Bucks crazy like we have to do Kansas City and watch for Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
You might see a couple pick sixes in this game from the Chargers. You might see some pressure from Bosa. As long as they Keenan Allen and Mike Williams now, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be optimistic here. I'm going to say that Tom Brady, we see his age show again this game. He can't get it down the field. Chargers take advantage of that and kind of pin him down a little bit. Give me the Chargers 24-21.
Now, my boy Marcus Lee Carter says he's gonna pick the Chargers 28-21, only if Tyrod's out, but only if they have a good game. If they have a good game offensively, and if the defensive men put pressure on Brady's ass. But the question is, can they do that? Can the linebackers actually step up and do that to where they take some pressure off the Chargers secondary? If so, I'll give them a chance, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be that way. All right, next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Cincinnati Bengals at home. The Jaguars got potential, but the thing is, they got a whole lot of missing pieces, and not to mention Gardner Minshew in his last game looked kind of. I mean, the thing is, he looks when he starts off good, but he always ends up a little bit sloppy because he's good for what, 1 or 2 turnovers a game, right? Yeah, he'll turn the ball over, once or twice. And the Bengals, like I said, I like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's got a hell of an arm, and he actually has some weapons that he can throw to. It's just the Bengals defense does need to step it up just a little bit more before I can actually take them serious. But man, yeah. Go ahead and give me the Bengals. Go ahead and give me the Bengals in this game. 24-17 over the Jaguars. Flip, who you got? Jags, Bengals.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Bengals defense needs to step up a little bit more, but I think they're playing pretty damn well over what we expected from them because it seems like it's the whole line that's messing up for the Bengals. Joe Burrow is getting destroyed out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the Eagles game where he got massacred. I think it was 2 Eagles players. Man, I thought he was out for.
They sandwiched him. Yeah, I saw where he got sandwiched.
They crushed him.
Yeah.
And so I think it's because of the pass rush. If the Jaguars pass rush can get Burrow, it could be a long day for him. But I think that defense can keep them in the range where Burrow can have enough time. He can get the ball to AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, John, even to Joe Mixon, and they can get that offense going. But if it's just drive up the drive, he's getting sacked or he's got to run away from the pressure.
Yeah.
But for a while there was just a play action to the side, and nobody was open because the Eagles do paying the play. So it's like, I don't know, that offense is a mess right now. I'm pretty sure Zach Taylor's probably going to get fired too, but I'm going to say that the Bengals win each one against the Jags. Not too optimistic about it. Give me the Bengals 24, Jags 20.
All right, Waz, who you got? Bengals, Jags.
Yeah, I like the Bengals in this game. The Jags didn't look good last week. Minshew looked good the first couple of weeks. I think Chark was out last week against the Dolphins. It definitely affected that offense. Definitely affected Minshew's play a bit. Burrow has looked solid. Pretty well this season, I feel like. I expected a little more production out of Joe Mixon so far, but that hasn't been the case yet this season. T. Higgins is definitely a breakout star on that team. They definitely got a lot of weapons there in the receiving core. AJ Green still, I don't know. I feel like he's maybe not the great receiver he once was. Definitely taking a step back or two. But I think talent-wise, offensively, I'm going to give it to Cincy on this. Defensively, possibly, maybe lean on the Jags, but it takes the tackle for me either way. But I think Shark might be back this week against the Bengals. And Minshew definitely is a solid leader in for that team. But I think the Bengals, they definitely played, I think they played pretty well against,
Next up, oh man. Now on paper, this is a good game, but even despite both these teams struggling early on, you got the Minnesota Vikings going on the road against the Houston Texans. The Texans have weapons. It's just that they can't have. They got to protect Deshaun Watson. They really do because that man's running for his life. Now, the Vikings, I do like, and the thing is, I like Kirk Cousins too. But if you ask me who has the better weapons right now, I would say the Vikings might have some. The Vikings might have slightly better weapons as far as wide receivers. Because I mean, come on, the Texans let go of their biggest one, DeAndre Hopkins, who's now a Cardinal. But and the thing is, neither one of these teams have been playing great defense, especially the Texans. The Texans, I mean, the thing is, when you look at the Texans, you expect far better defense from them. Now, as far as the Vikings are solid, but also the Vikings, if you paid attention, they got a problem with penalties too. They got to cut that out if they want to, if they want to have a chance. Oh man, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but go on ahead and give me the Vikings in this game, 23-21 over the Texans. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah. Anyway, Flip, who you got? Vikings, Texans.
Oh, this one's pretty easy for me. I got the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins, I don't know, he was like straight up just throwing the ball to ceiling for the first 2 weeks. I don't know. I think he finally saw that Justin Jefferson's on the other side of the field, and he can hand the ball off to Dalvin Cook. So the Vikings offense is kind of getting better now. That Texans offense, oh man, they're messing D-Hop so bad. David Johnson's not a bad running back, but you don't trade D-Hop for David Johnson.
Hell no.
Brandon Cooks, he's still trying to get his rhythm, go forward. He's hurt. He's got a hamstring injury. Deshaun Watson, once again. Deshaun Watson, once again, has no O-line. I mean, what is he going to do? He's just going to be running for his life as usual.
Yeah.
This Vikings offense, their defense isn't like, the defense from 2014, but it's still solid enough to stop this Texans team from beating them. So I'm going to say the Vikings first and then Texans 20.
All right, Was, who you got? Vikings, Texans.
So the Texans also definitely a team on the radar for firing their coach.
Yeah.
Potentially because obviously they make such a big off-season trade, and then they sign Sean to a big deal. So obviously they're taking steps with that franchise to try to solidify and show that they're going in a different direction. And they're definitely in a division that's winnable. They're not in like a really, really tough division.
Yeah.
But they are the worst team in that division right now. So you basically looking at a team that got rid of their best receiver and now is starting off 0-3. And probably looking at an 0-4. Now you can argue the first 3 games of the season for the Texans. How was that competition?
Yeah.
They had played the Chiefs, they had played the Ravens, they had played the Steelers. You could argue that's the toughest 3-game stretch out of the season for any team. And you could say, they just didn't have against those 3 games, because those 3 games just happened to be the really, really tough, the top-notch AFC games. Are they good enough to beat a Vikings team? Now, I haven't been particularly impressed with Houston so far this season. So I don't know. I don't think they can. The Vikings have shown me spurts at times. Granted, they are also a winless team, but they still, I feel like have still shown me something. They almost beat the Titans. They probably should have beaten the Titans. And I'm going to say offensively, I like them much better. I think I like them better defensively, even just a slight nod above Houston. Justin Jefferson is like again a breakout receiver on that squad. Dalvin Cook, terrific. Even though I still like Watson much over Cousins, I just don't think Cousins has the greatest
Alrighty. Next we got, oh Jesus. We got the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are at home, but it's not like, I mean, well, you know what? The Dolphins has a weird ass way of cursing visiting teams, no matter how good they are. I can't explain why, but they just do. But the thing is that yeah, I think it might be that, and also this year Miami is ground zero for COVID, but we're not talking about that right now. Anyway, Seattle right now, they are on fire. They are one of the hottest teams right now. There's not really too much that they're missing on. I mean, they're clicking on every last cylinder you can think of. Offensively, defensively, special teams, focus, capitalizing off of turnovers that they're getting good field position on kickoffs, and Russell Wilson is not getting sacked that much. I think he's only been sacked 3 times this year, if that. Now the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they've got some work to do. I don't know if they want to start Tua yet over Fitzpatrick. They might want to, but I don't know if they want to try to get I mean, with the way that the Seahawks defense is playing, I don't know if they want to get Tua murdered. But yeah, I mean, Fitz lately has just been a turnover machine. I don't know why. The thing is, the only reason why the Dolphins really stay in their games is just because they have a decent running game, and that's about it. They don't even have that much of a secondary anymore like they used to, as much of a defense as they do. And I got the Seahawks by double digits in this game. Give me the Seahawks 31-13 over the Seahawks. I mean 31-13 over the Dolphins. Flip, who you got? Seahawks, Dolphins.
Seahawks Dolphins, yeah. I don't trust the Dolphins yet. Their team is kind of alright, but I think Seahawks, the way this team is playing now, they have no chance. Russell Wilson's thrown 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on the roll. He's on fire. His offense is cooking. I think Chris Carson is hurt. That might be the only thing inside.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I think they still have Kenny and somebody else to take over. And they don't really need anyone crazy. That team is built to run. The way the Dolphins team is, I don't think Tua can help them out at this point. They're already worried about, I think, if Fitz being injury prone, they don't want to start him anyway. Fitzpatrick can't really, go out there and have a shootout with Russell Wilson. I don't see that.
Yeah.
Give me the Seahawks with guys to win.
All right. All right, Walls, who you got? Seahawks, Dolphins.
For sure, I can't take the Dolphins in this game. It's going to be the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, I know I mentioned Josh Allen earlier, but Russell Wilson's definitely also up there for front runner for MVP. He's having a phenomenal season. Partly, I think, also because the Seahawks defense is not as good as it once was, and they do tend to let teams score on them late in games. And they let the Cowboys. They definitely let the Cowboys come back in that game last week, and it kind of does force Russell to put up better numbers because Russell does kind of have to throw a little more. And Chris Carson may be out in this game, so it's possible they might even rely more on the pass than usual.
Mm-hmm.
And Fitzpatrick definitely can get a little frisky. And I could definitely see a situation where the Seahawks might have a sizable lead, but the Dolphins put up some garbage points and make it kind of a close competitive game. It's just a potential trap game for the Seahawks. I think maybe consider that too.
Yeah.
Dolphins are coming off a longer week. They have a little more time to prepare. They had that Thursday game, so they had 10 days as opposed to the Seahawks. There's a couple of things to kind of keep in mind here. I'm looking to see out win this game, but I think it'll be maybe within a score. I think maybe less than 10 points. I'll say the Seahawks win this. I'll say 30-21.
Alrighty. Next up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Tennessee Titans. Now that game has been postponed and moved to Monday night, possibly Tuesday. But I was struggling with this game because I'm a Steelers fan, and this is going to be the Steelers' first true test. And at the beginning of the season, I actually predicted this is one of the games the Steelers are actually going to drop, especially with the Titans being at home in this game. But I mean, you got Derrick Henry going up against top three, top two defenses in the league right now. I think right now they're even number one at stopping the run. So if they stop the run, they're going to force Tannehill to throw. And he's still got A.J. Brown to throw to and everything, and he's still got a pretty good tight end. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, it seems like they're back to their old selves again. The only problem with the Steelers I see is that they start off slow. And I mean, the thing is, like I said, they got the weapons. They got Juju. They got Connor. They have the Steelers have what, 3 capable running backs. They got Connor. They got Benny Snell, and they got their new running back AJ McFarland. So they got a hydra as far as running backs go. Like I said, as far as their receiving core, they got Juju. They got Chase Claypool. Deontay Johnson's out because of concussion, so Chase Claypool will be starting over him, and they got James Washington. Like I said, the only thing that the Steelers really need to do is just they need to not take so many risks on fourth down, and they need to not really they need to They need to take better care of the ball. Oh man, this is hard. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I got the Steelers taking their first L against the Titans. Give me the Titans in this game. Yeah, give me the Titans 27-24 over the Steelers. Flip, who you got? Steelers, Titans.
I think it's going to be a close game, just like the Vikings game. It's going to be 2 running backs trying to take over the game. I think James Conner had a big game last week. He kind of showed that when he is healthy, he can be that bell cow for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not, then he's out on the back. I'm not too sure for him, but either way, Daniel Johnson, he's got Juju, he's got Claypool, he's got James Washington, so that's very reliable receiver. He's shown that he can get the ball to. Is he getting one point?
Yes, he is. He's healthy.
Okay, so yeah, I think this is going to be a close game then. I think as long as the Steelers can stop the run and make Kenny Hill throw more than he needs to, I don't think Kenny Hill's going to punish him. He can get the ball down to the team that this year.
Yeah, because think about it. Watt and Dupree. Think about Watt and Dupree. Watt rushing him from the right and Dupree rushing him from the left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys can stop there, Kenny from running all over you guys. And I still think it's going to be close, but I'm going to lean towards the Steelers winning this game. I'm going to say Steelers win 30-20.
All right, Waz, who you got? Steelers, Titans.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be dependent on a couple of things. The health of A.J. Brown coming back. Will Derrick Henry have a monster game? And Tannehill limits some turnovers. The Tennessee Titans have only played really close, competitive games. They haven't really handled the team at all this season. All their games have been within 3 points or less. So, you could argue that it's very possible this team could have, 1 or 2 plays could have lost all 3 of those games, depending on where we're looking at them. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh has soundly handled the team pretty well that they've played against so far this season. Now, granted, this will be the toughest team that they've had.
And I'm looking up this statistic right now. The Steelers, out of 3 games, have only allowed 90 yards on the ground.
90 yards, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 3 games, they've only allowed 90 rushing yards. Yeah.
So that's how we're going to look at it now. It's basically, that's what I'm basically saying. Can Derrick Henry have a monster game? Because I don't know if Tannehill can lead the third against the Steelers. I think Derrick Henry has to have one of those 150, 200-yard games. And I don't know if he has it in him against the Steelers defense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though this game's going to be a little weird or wonky if it does occur in halftime.
28-22. All right. Now we got the Cleveland Browns going on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. The Browns actually didn't look too bad in their last game, and the Cowboys went up against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks usually have the Cowboys number no matter where they play. This is a home game for the Cowboys, though. Dak isn't really doing bad at all this year. I know Dak gets a lot of bull crap from people. He gets a lot of criticism, but I mean, I can't say it's really not that much deserved. But Dak is he's a damn good quarterback. I'd rather have him than Andy Dalton right now. Baker Mayfield. He also needs better blocking up front because he's not a scrambler. The thing is, like, because a lot of if you look at guys like Kyler Murray and Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and even the Bills quarterback, even Allen, they can get away with scrambling out of the pocket. Joe Burrow is not that. I mean, not Joe Burrow, but Baker Mayfield is not that kind of QB. He can't be running for his life. He has to get in the pocket to make plays happen. And the thing is, he's got the weapons to do that too. But the thing is, I do like the Cowboys' weapons and the quarterback situation a little bit better than the Browns. Now, if you want to talk defense, I think the Browns might actually have a better defense than the Cowboys at this point. Oh man, but it's like the unstoppable force meeting immovable objects. Whew. Give me, hopefully I don't regret this, give me the Cowboys 27-23 over the Browns. Flip, who you got? Browns, Cowboys.
This should be a Cowboys game. I know the Browns are kind of turning into this run team like everybody else did. Like the Seahawks, 49ers, and Ravens are trying to become that team that is run heavy and came happy with Baker. Baker's not accurate enough. I trust Dak way more than Baker to
Yeah.
on the field. I think he can do that with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Gallup. Zeke is, he's going to run all over that Browns team, so it doesn't matter. Actually, I would like to see the Browns beat the Cowboys. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys will stomp on them, especially after that Seahawks loss. I think they're upset about that one, how that ended up. So I think I'm getting scored this game. So probably Cowboys 35, Browns 24.
Well, you got it a higher scoring game than I do, but yeah. All right, Waz, who you got? Seahawks. Who you got? Cowboys. Hold on, I just got a message from Waz. He says the audio cut out.
Yeah, he dropped the call.
Yeah, because I heard the little ding thing in the background.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about it a little. We can discuss this game just a little bit more until he gets back. But yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, like I said, as far as the quarterback, I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off what you said. I do like Dak better than Baker. But like I said, like if you want to talk just defense, who do you trust more to stop who in a third down? Do you trust the Browns defense or do you trust the Cowboys defense if it's a third in whatever situation?
Cowboys defense. Baker is
Oh.
accurate. If he was a more accurate quarterback, I would trust him to get the ball to Odell.
He doesn't have a line. It's not his accuracy. It's just that he doesn't really have anybody to block for him, and it forces him to scramble out of the pocket and throw more than he wants to.
I think it's both. It's a mix of both because he just can't get the ball to some of his receivers. Like he'll even fail the ball too far. He'll throw it inside too much. It's like last game when Odell had to play quarterback instead of receiver because Baker's bad ball. He threw a terrible ball. Odell had to go and play quarterback on the ball just to make sure he didn't get intercepted. I don't know. He's not really that great. I think some of that Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel without the off the field issue.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, Waz, who you got? Yeah, who you got in this Cowboys Browns game?
Yeah, I like the Cowboys in this game. They had a tough game. They had to lead against Seattle late. They let it go. They didn't have the greatest drive all the way back. Dak still played pretty well. I still think even though he didn't get much on that last throw, I still think him breaking away from that sack and staying on his feet is pretty impressive. Um, and I don't. The Browns to me are still like a little bit of full go. I think if they were just commit to the run and get Chubb at least 25 to 30 carries, and just limit Baker Mayfield a little bit, even though they do have the nice receiving weapons there, that team would definitely be better served and definitely be a more successful team. But I think that they're so kind of reliant on trying to have Baker throw a lot. And like Flip said, I don't think he's that accurate. I'm not sure if he has it. I'm just not a believer in that team or that coach. Granted, it's still early, but I like the Cowboys. I think the last couple of weeks, they had that comeback win against Atlanta. They almost go beat Seattle, in Seattle. I'm going to lean on them to win this game. I think it's going to be. I think it'll be competitive in the first half. I think Dallas pulls away in the second half. I can definitely see Baker imploding a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nick Chubb too. Don't forget about Nick Chubb. Like he's nasty. Their running game, I think, is better than the Cowboys too.
Yeah. Zeke hasn't been that great this season. He hasn't been. But then again, I think it's that offensive line. I think that offensive line has taken a step back from where they were at a few years ago. So I think that's probably where it's at. So I'm going to go with, but I'm still going to go with Dallas in this game. I think Dallas wins this game. If Dallas can get scored on, Dallas' defense is not that great. But I don't think Baker is a good enough QB to capitalize on it. So I'm going to go with Dallas wins this game. Dallas wins this game 31-21.
Alrighty. Reasonable score. Next up, you got the Baltimore Ravens going on the road against Washington. Now, Washington actually didn't really look too. They haven't really looked terrible in any of the games, especially against the Philadelphia Eagles. But a lot of people say that the Eagles right now are kind of imploding. But with the way that the Ravens got spanked and humiliated by the Chiefs, the Ravens are going to be out for blood. Thing is, like, the only thing that Washington really has to rely on is their front line defense, like their front seven, and on offense their running game. That's pretty much what they have to rely on. But the thing is, against a team like the Ravens, who has a pretty solid defense itself, and with Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram, and they got a couple of receivers to throw to, it's not going to be enough for Washington to pull through with the W, even if they are at home. Going ahead and give me the Ravens in this game, 30 to 17. Flip, who you got? Ravens, Washington.
This should be Ravens win easy. Washington doesn't even have Chase Young this week, so their defense isn't going to be super pressuring on Lamar in that line. The Ravens, they got smoked by the Chiefs, but the Chiefs aren't, the Washington football team isn't the Chiefs, so the Ravens should get back to what they've been doing, which is basically just cruising on teams. Washington's no exception. I'd say Ravens 31 to 20 in this.
All right, Waz, who you got? Ravens, Washington.
I got the Ravens in this game. I think it should. I think it's really easy to. There's no real rhyme or reason to pick Washington right now. The Ravens are coming off, kind of getting, slapped around a little bit off the Chiefs game. And most people thought that, again, most people I thought it was a lot more competitive game. And the Ravens are definitely a team that should be competing and contending for that, that AFC crown. So I think they're going to be motivated. And I think the recipe just calls for basically a victim, which will be the Washington football team. So I think the Ravens will smoke them out. I don't think Washington really poses any sort of threat. Like Flip said, they're missing Chase Young on defense, so I think it goes for a pretty easy win. Really can't. I think this is definitely a two-score game for sure on the Ravens with the lead. I'll say Ravens win this game. I'll say Ravens 34, Washington 17.
All right. Next up, we got New York Giants going on the road against the LA Rams. The Giants are beat up and injured to hell and back. They don't have a defense. I'm trying to think of something positive to say about the Giants, really. I mean,
there's nothing positive to say about.
I mean, but see, this is the thing. They made it close against the Bears. In all actuality, they should have beat the Bears. But I mean, they came up short. And the Rams just they arguably were screwed and robbed out of a win against Buffalo. But that's neither here nor there. And the Rams, with the way they lost in humiliating fashion last week, they're going to be out for blood. And the Rams are the wrong team to be out for blood. I mean, the Giants, that's not who you want to face if you're coming off a debilitating loss. Give me the Rams this game, 35-10 over the Giants. Flip, who you got? Rams, Giants.
35-10, damn.
Yeah.
35-10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aaron Donald is going to feast. Aaron Donald is going to feast on Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that O-line's not.
He's going to eat him alive.
This Rams team, they found out how they want to run their offense. I think they're clicking. They put up 32 against the Bills defense, and I hope their Bills defense in high regard. The Giants defense isn't that great. The Rams should probably steamroll over them. I would say 35-10, but I'll say 31-7.
All right, Waz, who you got? Bears, Giants. I mean, not Bears, Giants, but Rams, Giants.
Yeah, Rams. Rams at that nice stadium. Giants, coming off. I mean, okay, they got declared by the 49ers, and the 49ers had their JV squad out there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pulling up against the Los Angeles team that has like a three-headed monster of their own in the running back core. They got good receivers in Cup and Woods. Tight end, Higbee is great. Jared Goff is playing pretty solid. Then you got the defense as well. Ramsey there on the corner. Aaron Donald causing havoc, and on that front four line. It's going to be a bloodbath for the Giants. It's another loss, and again, this is another situation where we're looking at potentially another New York team that is going to be a winless probably after 4 weeks. Going to potentially be one of those teams that competes for that number one draft pick spot, but also has a first-round quarterback that is currently within 2 to 3 years on that franchise or on that team. So it's like, do they tank? I mean, are they really tanking for Trevor Lawrence? Are they tanking to have the draft pick just so they can trade for assets to a team that wants Trevor Lawrence? I don't know. They're just in an interesting spot because I don't think they can quit on Daniel Jones, especially given all of the injuries that the team faced. So, but that aside, I'm just going off the score right now. Give me the Rams in this. I'll say the Rams win this 35-14.
All right. Next, Super Bowl 41 rematch. The Colts going on the road against the Chicago Bears. Now, earlier we questioned the Bears' 3-0 validity. Like, how real are they? Or have they just, gotten a couple of fluky wins? But I mean, the thing is, the Colts aren't necessarily playing bad football, but they're just a team that's just middle of the road average. And I think that I think Nick Foles is going to start is going to start this week, and if he does, that could mean bad news for the Colts. This might be one of the more interesting matches for this week. I'm excited for this. Is one of the ones that I'm actually excited for. I mean, you got Old Man Rivers going up against Nick Foles, so yeah. This is a this is a hard one. Go ahead, Matt. You know what? Actually, yeah, go ahead and give me the Bears in this game, 28-21 over the Colts. Flip, who you got? Bears, Colts.
Yeah, I got the Bears in this one. I like the Colts. I think their defense does wonders. It's just the Bears defense is just to see all over Philip Rivers. He's not playing the greatest of football this year. Jonathan Taylor, he's coming up still. He's still got ways to go, but he's shown like a really good potential of being a great running back in this league.
Yeah.
I just don't think that team is very well. I can't believe they got a lot of injuries on their team. And Harris Campbell and somebody else on the receiving core. Arthur St. Marlon Matthews up. Yeah, this Bears defense is probably going to manhandle them, and I think Nick Foles is a way more promising quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky. I think he can take that team at least like 27 points. So I would say the Bears 27, Colts 26.
All right. Waz, who you got? Colts, Bears.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm in the minority in this. I actually got faith in the Colts in this game. I think the Colts are just, I think overall, a better, more complete team. I do like, obviously, Allen Robinson's playing a pretty solid game. He's playing a little bit better this season than he had in the past 2 years. Injuries and all that. I'm not quite sure yet. Both came back and had a great quarter against the Falcons, but that is a much different team and much different defense than you're going to see with the Colts. The Colts have a pretty solid defense. They got Buckner, they got Houston on the front line. I think that's going to be, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for the Bears. And again, they lost Tariq Cohen.
Yeah, ACL injury.
Now, I think that was kind of a meaningful loss, even though he's kind of, not like their every down back, but he's definitely, kind of a Swiss Army knife for that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if Montgomery is going to be the answer, like, consistently, for that team. So I'm not sure where they go from there. I don't know if you can just rely on, 30 to 40 passes a game from Nick Foles. So even though Philip hasn't played really good this year, he's just been like okay, really kind of hard so far some games. I think that the makeup of this team overall is still solid top to bottom, and I think the Bears are a little fluky. So I do like the Colts in this game. So I'm going to pick the Colts. I think the Colts win this game. I think it's going to be close. Give me the Colts 23, Bears 20.
All right. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers going on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, no, sorry. You got the Cardinals on the road against the Panthers. The Panthers are the home team in this game. The Panthers are a very, very weird team because they got some guys and they got skill, but I don't know what it is that they're missing to make them not what they were. I mean, okay, I do know what they're missing. They're missing Christian McCaffrey. All right, but yeah, all joking aside, I mean, the thing is, I'm trying to figure out what the Panthers' plan B could possibly be to go up against this high-powered Cardinals offense. And the thing is, the Cardinals' defense isn't great. Their defense is just okay. You want that third round? You want that third down stop? They can get it for you, but I don't know if they'll force turnovers or anything like that. But I actually do feel safer picking the Cardinals in this game. Give me the Cardinals 23-17 over the Panthers. Flip, who you got? Cardinals, Panthers.
I like the Cardinals. I feel like they didn't lose too much of a step against with Christian McCaffrey. I think Mike Davis is basically not Christian McCaffrey, but just kind of like a lower level, maybe like a tier right below Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
We'll kind of get to that edge in a speedy fashion. It's the Cardinals, though, man. They're just as solid. Tyler is. I think he had a terrible game last week. He had 3 picks against the Lions.
Yeah.
But even still, it's like I don't know. He can still use his legs. He can still be hop out there. Doing 3 picks, they almost still caught up to them in that game. So, yeah. Who do I go with here? I would say, yeah, he was kind of like carving up the Chargers defense last week. I was really impressed. I mean, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. I'm gonna say the, I'm going Panthers. I'm going Panthers.
Wow.
Panthers, beat the Cardinals. 34 to 21.
You got faith in Teddy B?
Yes, I got faith in Teddy B.
All right. All right, Flip, who you got? Panthers, Cardinals.
For me, this is a toss-up game. I don't know who they necessarily go with. The Cardinals didn't look great last week. But it was kind of, again, like I said, it was still a close game. It was turnovers from Kyler Murray. Bridgewater was playing not too bad. But again, they're still without McCaffrey. I don't know what this offense really kind of can depend on, going forward. And, they want to have a lot on offense. Defensively, either way, I don't think there's too much of a separation. This is a coin flip, but I do defer to the NFC West team, and I would defer to Kyler Murray. And then coming off of a loss, I think definitely will definitely motivate them because they are in a much tougher division, and those outside divisional games are definitely very important because every game in the NFC West is going to be a bloodbath, and they need to capitalize on everything not up to that. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this, but it's going to be close. The Cardinals win this game 24 to 21.
All right. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills going on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are weird because it seems like that they got the ability to beat teams who are on paper better than them, and the Bills are just overall solid all around. The thing is, a lot of people have the Bills winning on paper, but this could potentially be a trap game for the Bills. I mean, the thing is, the Raiders, like I said, they got weapons. They're solid. Like I said, the Bills on paper are the better team, but one thing that they got to do is they got to minimize mistakes and turnovers and penalties, and they got to make Derek Carr run for his life because he's not really that good on the run. Derek Carr's got to get set for him to be dangerous. The Raiders' defense they're not great, but they're just all right. The Bills' defense is just solid all around. The thing is, they can actually cause problems for Derek Carr. Like I said, but the thing is, the Raiders, especially this being a home game, is tricky. A part of me wants to go with the Raiders just because. Because like I said, this seems like this could be a trap game for the Bills. The Bills think that they can just run away with this when it's not going to be that easy. Oh, man. This is one that I hopefully don't regret. But, the thing is, if you look at it on paper, the Rams are better competition than the Raiders are at this point. But going ahead and give me the Bills in actually a very, very close game against the Raiders. Give me the Bills 28-27 over the Raiders. Flip, who you got? Raiders, Bills.
I think the Bills run away with this.
Run away with it?
They don't have the receivers to keep up with the Bills. Bills, I think they'll be up without John Brown this week, but even then, I think that The Raiders still have the receivers. Russ is still beat up. Tyrell Williams out the year.
Yeah.
Waller can't do it on his own. Renfro's not Julian Edelman. And Derek Carr, he can't will this team to a victory. So I would say Bills 28, Raiders 20 in this one.
All right. All right, Waz, who you got? Bills, Raiders.
I have to say I have the Bills in this game. I like the Bills. The Raiders are a little bit of a kind of a smoke and mirror team for me at least. I think they got a little exposed by the Patriots last week. The Bills, meanwhile, have looked pretty solid all throughout the year. Granted, they did give up a lot of points to the Rams in that game, but still came back and won that game, even though they should have probably lost it. Josh Allen's playing phenomenal. I don't think there's really anything about this Raiders defense that I would suspect is going to shake him up a bit. Diggs is having a terrific year with this team. They are relying on Terry Moore since Moss is out. But I just think offensively I like them better. I don't know if Jacobs can kind of hold it down and lead the Raiders to a victory over this defense. Waller was kind of limited last week, so I'm not sure if he's a go this week. But we'll see. Even though the Bills are on the road, these COVID neutral fields, no fans, the settings don't really kind of make it too difficult for the away teams these days. So I do like the Bills in this. I think the Bills take care of business pretty well. I think Bills win this game 34 to 23.
All right. Next up, we've got what is being billed as America's Game of the Week. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the New England Patriots. Oh. Now, you guys have noticed that I don't know if they're doing this on purpose. If this is by design or it's just coincidence. But it looks like they're Bill Belichick and Cam Newton are trying to turn this into a mostly running back, on the ground based team as opposed to just airing it out. I don't know if that's because that Bill Belichick doesn't trust Cam to air the ball out, because he definitely can't do that. But I guess he just trusts the ground game more. And of course, the secondary. While the Patriots secondary is just a little bit banged up, they're still dangerous. The Chiefs, come on, what do you want me to say? They're the damn Chiefs. They're the most complete and well-rounded team in the league. And they whooped up on a team. They whooped up on the Ravens, and the Ravens was supposed to be a competitive game. Like I said, even though it looked close, especially going in the second quarter, really that game was the score didn't reflect how dominant the Chiefs were in that game, and especially considering how the Patriots lost in very, very close fashion to the Seahawks. They can't play that same way against the Chiefs because they're going to get hurt. And this is a home game for the Chiefs too, Arrowhead Stadium, even though this, no crowd due to COVID. Go ahead and give me the Chiefs in this game 31-28 over the Patriots. Flip, who you got? Chiefs, Patriots.
I don't have faith in the Patriots to, I guess what they've been doing, which is this weird, hybrid run offense with a little bit of passing in it.
It's called the West Coast offense. Run and then throw it far down the field.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're throwing it far down the field, but Cam was only getting 100-some yards a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to give it to the Chiefs in this one. I think Mahomes just outduels them. I don't think that Patriots defense can keep him down for too long. And the way the Chiefs defense has been playing lately, I think they can keep him in the game long enough for Tyreek Hill to kind of tire out that defense, Kelsey to tire out that defense, and then Mahomes just takes over in that late third, fourth quarter. So it just seems like it's going to be one of those games unless the Patriots somehow manage to keep the clock running for at least 3 quarters with at least 2.5 score lead.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could be up 17 and they'll roast you in a quarter and a half. So give me the Chiefs in this one. I would say 31 to 20.
All right. All right, Waz, who you got? Chiefs, Patriots.
Yeah, it's hard to pick the Chiefs. In the past, this would be definitely a close, kind of a shootout style game. I don't know if the Patriots are designed that way. Their defense is pretty solid. It's still top notch. It's going to be a tough test for the Chiefs. Toughest one they faced so far this season for sure. I still just don't know if the Patriots are designed to go toe to toe in a shootout style game. This way this offense is, it like kind of flip fed it, kind of hybrid. There's moments where it's like Cam kind of just asked to just run the ball himself, either on design plays or just when a play breaks down. I don't trust. Granted, he did play pretty well in that Seattle game, so it's not like Cam can't get down the field if he needs to get a score. I just don't know if it can be a consistent game against this Chiefs team if the Chiefs get up 2 scores, which they can certainly do. But this Patriots defense can't be counted out. You still got Gilmore down back there. You got a lot of key pieces there that kind of keep this offense in check. I can't play against the Chiefs right now, even though Cam makes this a little interesting. If they were still Brady back there, I would still probably be more confident in the Chiefs, just because Brady's taking a step down a little bit. At least that we've seen so far these last couple of years. So I will pick the Chiefs in this, but I think it's going to be a close game. Give me the Chiefs. The Chiefs win this 33-30.
All righty. Next up, primetime game. You got the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have disappointed me this year, and I'm ashamed of the fact that I picked them to win the NFC East this year. But that's neither here nor there now. But despite here's the thing: is that the Eagles right now are healthy. It's just they're not playing good football. And the thing is, I don't think it's the fact that a lot of people are criticizing Carson Wentz, saying, "Oh my God, Carson Wentz is overrated. He's all hype, yada yada yada." No, I think he just needs to get his confidence back because he's not poised and focused like he was. He's throwing very very sloppy. That and the fact that he doesn't have a running game to hide behind that much anymore. Because at least it hasn't been up to par to where it used to be. 49ers, they are riddled with injuries. Oh my goodness. But the thing is, even as injured as they are, they can still make a game competitive, as we saw last week. It's just, I do trust them more, especially with the coaching too. I trust them more than Doug Peterson. But with that in mind, I actually do have this game being close. Give me the 49ers in this game. 23-20 over the Eagles. Flip, who you got? Eagles, Niners.
I got the 49ers in this. We saw the season of Nick Mullins already. I like Nick Mullins, but I thought he was going to replace Jimmy G after that season, to be honest. George Kittle will be back. Like you said, they are full of injuries, but they're getting some pieces back. Like Jason Brett came back last week, so he can, help that secondary out.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles team is they're a mess as well. They're still riddled with injuries. I think Sean Jackson's going to be out now. Dallas Goedert might be out now. Their O-line is banged up. Carson Wentz he's not looking that great out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a game that the Eagles should win, but this 49ers team is they're feisty. And even with all these injuries, they're still coming out with wins. So I'm not going to bet against them. And plus, I think Nick Mullins can carry this team regardless. Jimmy G is not the greatest quarterback ever, and he carried them to the Super Bowl. I got the 49ers winning this one. I'll say 24 to 17.
All right. All right, Waz, who you got? Eagles, Niners.
This is going to be another sound win for the 49ers. We've definitely benefited the earlier part of them. These last couple of games, we basically took over New York and made New York our second home.
Yeah.
And Philadelphia, they did not show me anything in that Bengals game that scared me in the slightest.
Yeah.
The way they played that game at the end they played that game to not win or lose. They played that game just to hold on to a tie, and I think that's so terrible when teams do that.
Yeah.
And I don't. There's nothing coaching-wise. I think that they're going to throw at us offensively or anything that's going to scare this defense. That's going to scare our defense. I know we got a lot of injuries. I know this team is riddled, but this team is so talented and this team is so well coached that we definitely can overcome it against the inferior team.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles are in that kind of caliber. I don't consider them the top caliber, top tier team. We are potentially getting Debo back. I would like to see, Kittle come back, but I don't want him rushed because I don't think we need Kittle to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I think Breed, I believe, is out, so we keep losing guys. But Mullins is solid enough. Mullins threw for over 300 yards. You know what I mean? It's next man up in that roster. It really is next man up. Even though Mostert went down, a third string, Jeff Wilson Jr. He came up out of nowhere and scored up. And Brandon Ayuk, he had an emerging game. There's just a lot of key guys, and everyone just keeps stepping up. And I don't think the Eagles. Again, I don't see the Eagles as a threat. I think this is definitely more than a touchdown game.
Yeah.
I like the Niners in this game at home. Give me San Francisco. I'll think San Francisco wins this 28 to 17.
All right. And last game, Monday night game, we got the Atlanta Falcons going up against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are a very dangerous team, and despite the talent that the Atlanta Falcons have, I don't know what it is, but they just cannot hold on to leads. I don't know why. And the thing is, they lose because they can't hold on to leads and because of bad coaching decisions. That's the only reason why. The thing is, they got the talent. They got the pieces. The only thing is, it's just bad coaching, and the thing is, I don't know why, but they play soft. They hold on to a lead, and then they play soft, and then let the teams get back into it. Now, the Green Bay Packers. And the thing is, to play a good first half and then to play conservative, the Green Bay Packers are the wrong team, the absolute wrong team to do that to. Especially because you got Aaron Jones clicking. Especially because you got pretty damn good wide receiver to throw to, and of course, Aaron Rodgers. No introduction needed. Now, and don't get me wrong, because the Packers' defense isn't what it used to be. Because the Packers, they go on history of having a feared defense. Their defense isn't really what it used to be, but it might be enough to contain what they got, especially if Julio is out again. Oh man. Go ahead and give me the Packers in this game. 30 to 24. Flip, who you got? Packers, Eagles. Packers, Falcons.
I got the Packers. I have no faith in the that defense is terrible. Aaron Rodgers is going to carve them up. Like, they have everything on offense. I think Julio will probably be back this week, but it's Packers for me. Like, their team is great on offense, terrible, horrible. And Aaron Rodgers just carved up, 3 teams in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Falcons have no chance. I'd be surprised if they won this game. But yeah, I think they even have Devontae Adams back this week. Yeah. Give me the Packers in this. 35 to 24.
All right. All right, Waz, who you got? Packers, Falcons.
Oh man, Packers for sure. I don't have any faith be a game where everyone thinks that the Packers will win this way, and the Falcons have, they have that high-powered offense, and maybe the Falcons actually show up and actually pull out a victory, and they don't blow a lead. But this is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers playing with as big a chip as we've probably seen in a little while. And he's definitely a motivated Aaron Rodgers. He's playing very crisp, even without Devontae Adams. So, you know what I mean? Against this defense, I still, even if he could get Devontae back, that would be terrific. But I don't. Yeah, it's just he's playing too well, and I don't trust the Falcons game to hold the lead. Like this has been ridiculous. I'll say the Packers win this game. Give me the Packers. Let's say the Packers win this 35-27.
All righty. And that pretty much wraps it up for this week's predictions, fellas. You guys got any thing that you want? Anything else you want to add before we clock out tonight?
Lakers in 4.
I got Lakers. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say Lakers in 6, just to be generous.
I think the Heat might have lost Dragic for at least a game or two.
Oh God.
So
and Jimmy Butler can't do it on his own. Yeah, Jimmy Butler can't do it on his own. So yeah, that's we pretty much know that the situation with that.
LeBron's gonna get 4 times, and people are gonna complain. They're not gonna say it's with this.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, also my last thought as far as the Titans and Steelers game, like I said, it's looking to be moved to Monday. But like I said, the thing is, do you feel like? Do you think that both games should be on at the same time, or do you think that it should be one game before the other one? Because the Packers, because the Titans and Steelers were scheduled to be a 1:00 game. But that would be weird to have a 1:00 game on a Monday afternoon. That's just too weird.
You get an extra day of rest. So, it's a win-lose. It's like you're changing the schedule for them, but if they get an extra day to heal up.
Yeah, they get an extra day to rest.
The 1:00 game. Yeah, wouldn't they be able to rest? Because the Monday
game,
like an extra day of rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's fine with the trade-off there. It's just the 1:00 game on Sunday, or Monday is kind of weird, yeah.
Yeah.
They just treat it like a Sunday, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're professionals. They have.
Yeah. Well, fellas, that'll do it for our Fourth and Goal podcast tonight. Thank you for everybody. Thank you all my viewers on Facebook for watching, and this will be up on YouTube shortly. As always, Flip Wise, thank you, fellas, for having me host the show every week. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.